Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's James here. I wanted to shoot a second video for you today, this one regarding Litecoin. Somebody asked for a Litecoin analysis. So I'm seeing a lot of people get excited about Litecoin again. I'm seeing people talking about it going back up. And I just want to introduce some perspective, not telling you whether to short it or long it, just perspective, nothing else. So on the screen here, we've got a fractal. This is a 2015 fractal versus 2019 chart. We can see that so far things played out very, very accurately. So 47 days before the last halving, the price of Litecoin topped out, and then it dropped 73% going into the halving. Okay, in 2019 we actually topped out about 49 days so far was the top. 45 days. So it was very, very close, about 2 days different, and then we started our big drop. Okay, so could we be done dropping? We could for sure, but if we drop 73% like 2015. That would put us down around $40. That's a legitimate level. There's supports and resistances down in that area. My target for this was going to be somewhere between $50 and $70. What a target means, by the way, it doesn't mean I'm going to automatically buy there. It means that's where I'm going to start looking for structure. So that's where I'm going to start looking for reversal signals that would make me want to buy the coin. And if it falls through that and goes to 40, 40 is the type of area that I would be very aggressive on. Okay, I wouldn't be looking for structure so much. I'd probably be buying on price alone, depending on the market conditions. So this pump, does this pump concern me? It doesn't concern me other than the fact that I wish I would have bought down here and held it for 30%, and I could have sold it today. That's the only thing that concerns me about it is, getting in and out on day trades is great when you're making a couple percent per trade, which is my goal. But once in a while you get out and then something goes up 20, 30%, and it's like, oh, should have held that a little longer. But do I think the drop is over? No, I don't. And we can go back and look at history, and we can see that there was a huge drop in Litecoin last time. And if I draw it from top to bottom, so if I draw a price range from top to bottom here, it dropped about 64%, and then it bounced 63%, and then it continued its decline. So a little different this year. So far we dropped 48%, not 64%. And so who knows how far we're going to go up on this bounce. But I did think it was very strange. I'll look at a different chart on this. Let me show you something real quick. So we look at a weekly chart. There was something that's been bothering me about this drop the entire time. There was no ABC on this thing. Okay, if you were drawing an Elliott wave and you wanted an ABC correction, I kept wondering what was going on with it because it just kept going down, right? So this may be what we're seeing now. This might actually be our A, might have a B leg and then a C leg. And as far as the B leg, how high it goes, that's really, really tough to say. But let's look at two things for that real quick. Number one, let's just, for argument's sake, say this thing goes up 60%. I don't think it's going to, but let's say it did. That would put it up around 122, okay, before it started going back down. And if we look at a weekly chart, 120 is actually a line of resistance. So could that happen? It could. What we could see is something that looks like this, B leg, and then a C leg. That's definitely feasible. That's why I'm telling you, I'm not telling you to long or short it, because I don't know if the pump is over. I don't know if this is all it's got or not. A lot of that's going to depend probably on Bitcoin and what Bitcoin does over the next couple of days. If Bitcoin pumps, I could definitely see Litecoin going back up to 120, right, before correcting. It would make sense. It would be a nice, textbook B leg. Okay. On the other hand, if Bitcoin falters and it ends up playing out like this fractal where we get this huge dump coming into the weekend, well, then I think Litecoin's probably going to dump with it, and I think this will be our B leg, right? If we zoom into a 3-day chart, it just doesn't look like much of a B leg to me. It really doesn't. It looks awful short. So it's tough to say. I'm a little torn on what Litecoin is going to do. I'm not taking any trades on it. I'm not longing it. I'm not shorting it. I'm just, waiting to see how it plays out. But I am at this point completely convinced that this is nothing more than a dead cat bounce, and that it's going to be a repeat of 2015 in similar fashion, and then it will continue the dump. So if that does go up 60% like that, and then it drops 54% like it did in 2015, that would put our target right around $55. and that would be right in this zone. So again, it's very feasible. I mean, it's totally feasible for that to go up to 120 bucks. I wouldn't write it off. I wouldn't count it out just yet. It made it up to about 105 so far today, $104.48 on Bitfinex. So this could be what we're seeing, though. We could be seeing this bounce. This thing was majorly oversold. So right now, I'm staying out of my Litecoin positions. Again, I sold for an average of around 127. So I could buy back right now, and it would be a huge gain for me, about $26 per coin. But I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that this is going to continue going up, and I'm also not interested in taking any type of position on what I personally think that Bitcoin is getting ready to dump, right? Until this thing breaks above 11,000, I'm going to be a bear. Okay, if it breaks above 11,000, I would probably start changing my stance and say, you know what, I think I've been wrong, and I think I'm going to have to review this and reevaluate. But if this dumps, I think it'll pull Litecoin down with it. If it doesn't dump, I think we could see Litecoin play out like 2015, get that 63% pump, and then finally have our dump into the halving. So with all that being said, please remember I am some guy sitting in a spare bedroom. I'm not a professional financial advisor, and you should always do your own due diligence and seek out professional investment advice before making any type of investment in cryptocurrency. This is James. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, be sure and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please be sure and give it a like. I'll see you in the next one.